Right now, live at 5, fire agencies continuing to battle the Retreat fire in Yakima County. Plus, we're monitoring the Battle Creek Mountain Complex fire. Also tonight, a major drug bust in Grant County, Washington. Why it took a whole year to make it happen. And Stacy, how's our forecast?
Things are looking good. A hazy, late, lazy summer day. 99 degrees right now in Richland. We'll break down what's going on and the potential for thunderstorms. More on the way.
This is Apple Valley News Now at 5 on your side.
Hope you had a good weekend. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Austin Reed. We're going to get to the Retreat fire in just a bit. But first, fire officials fighting the Battle Mountain Complex say they believe the blaze now started due to lightning strikes in the area. Now, the fire was first reported on July 17th near Ukiah. The Battle Mountain Complex fire consists of two wildfires that have combined. It has now burned nearly 182,000 acres and is at 36% containment.
Lightning last night and pretty much over the entire fire. Most of the lightning was a little bit west of us, but today, we have a heightened awareness for initial attack. In Division Whiskey, that area is looking really good. Lighter fuels, so less arduous mop up, if you will.
As the fire is impacting Morrow, Umatilla, and Grant counties, in less than an hour from now, fire officials will be holding an informational meeting in Heppner. It's going to be taking place at Heppner City Hall. That's at 111 North Main Street. It starts at 6 p.m. Officials say they will provide updates and provide time for a Q&A session. Other news now into a crime alert. After a year-long investigation, two illegal marijuana growing facilities were busted, and this was in Grant County. Several agencies raided the operations on Thursday. About 40 law enforcement officers were on site at the two connected properties near Road C Northeast and Road 11 Northeast south of Ephrata. The officers chased down 4 of the 5 employees when they ran from one of the properties. 2 other employees were detained from the second site. Evidence was gathered from both operations, including agricultural chemicals. Officers confirmed that one of the grow sites was about the size of a football field. Detectives say that these facilities were part of an organized illegal drug operation. The investigators headed to Yakima next, where they seized over 400 pounds of marijuana with a street value of around $400,000 and arrested the alleged leader of the drug ring. He was booked into Grant County Jail. In Kennewick, police came upon a transient encampment on private property in the 4700 block of West Canal Drive on Sunday morning. Officers found one man on the property who had a large amount of narcotics and paraphernalia on him. Based on the items, including a small electronic scale, the man was taken into custody for both criminal trespass in the second degree and possession of a controlled substance with intent to deliver. In Moses Lake over the weekend, a deadly vehicle versus pedestrian collision is under investigation. But deputies are also looking for information from the public. They say the male pedestrian was on the southbound side of Road M and was struck by an unknown vehicle that would have been traveling south. Evidence suggests the collision happened in the early morning hours of Sunday. The body was discovered around 6 a.m. by a passerby who had called 911. The Grant County coroner identified 19-year-old Adrian Beza of Moses Lake as the person who died. Now, deputies say they are still looking for the vehicle, most likely a passenger car. That vehicle will most likely have right front end damage. Election Day is tomorrow, and West Valley Fire and Rescue is asking residents to vote in favor of lifting the cap on the existing property tax levy rate. Fire officials say back in 2015, the rate was $1.50 per $1,000 of assessed property tax value. It is now decreased over time to 89 cents per thousand. While inflation has driven costs up, fire officials say to keep up, they need to increase it by another 25 cents to $1.14 per thousand.
We're just trying to look at what we need for the future. And then at this point, 25 cents is adequate to help us fund for those projects into the future.
If passed, the new rate would take effect in 2025 and cost a homeowner with a $400,000 home about $100 more per year. Well, if you haven't popped your ballot in the mail for tomorrow's primary, you still have time to drop it off at an official drop box. You can drop off your signed ballot anytime before 8 p.m. tomorrow, August 6th. The Washington primary election will determine who moves on to the general election in November. One candidate is hoping to take over Dan Newhouse's position for Congress. Over the weekend, former President Trump endorsed her. We're talking about Tiffany Smiley, who you see here. Coming up tonight at 6, and only from Apple Valley News Now, we go one-on-one with Smiley, so be sure to tune in. Again, that's tonight at 6, and only on Apple Valley News Now. Right now at AppleValleyNewsNow.com, we have a whole section dedicated to Tuesday's primary, from who's on the ballot to updated numbers. Again, make sure you head to our website, AppleValleyNewsNow.com. Let's talk about our weather now. Did you see lightning or hear thunder earlier this morning around 4? Well, this is video from the West Richland Police Department. That area saw lots of lightning. We also heard from a number of viewers in central Kennewick who heard more extremely loud thunder. So will we see more of this tonight or overnight? Stacy Lee joining us with a first look at our first alert weather forecast. Hey there.
That's right. Well, there's a potential for more thunder and lightning. We have red flag warnings in the area. Right now, we're dealing with lots of smoke and haze here in the Yakima Valley. Check it out. We've been dealing with that all day. Let's take a look at our future cast. A lot of us dealing with the smoke and haze again. Some of that rain tamped it down for a bit, but we've dried back out this afternoon, and we're keeping an eye on air quality in the area. Right now, air quality looking good through the region, so not too bad in Yakima. But we are tracking the potential for some thunder and lightning once again, mainly in the southern Blue Mountains overnight tonight, and then possibly, a couple of those sliding through the Columbia Basin Tri-Cities, almost like they did today. Let's talk about our future cast smoke. Where's that going? That's been the biggest impact on our area. Looks like we're going to start seeing a northwesterly flow of air, and that will start to push that smoke right on out of the area. I'll get to more details in your first alert full weather forecast. Austin.
All right, Stacy, we'll see you then. Well, the city of Pasco has been in the works of remodeling the MLK Center, but things took an unexpected turn when state funding was relocated. Apple Valley News Now's Monique Ledesma joining us live tonight from the MLK Center, where a public meeting will be held later this evening. Monique.
The Martin Luther King Community Center in Pasco is considered a hub for local community members with its educational programs, social services, and cultural activities. But the NAACP of this question because it is outdated. The city of Pasco has received federal and state, but in June, the city council voted.
And we apologize for that audio issue. We're going to get it fixed, and we'll check in with Monique a little bit later. In the meantime, the news at 5 is just getting started. Still ahead, parvo puppies are dropped off in the Tri-Cities this weekend. And now Mikey's Chance Rescue Shelter is asking for help. Plus, a whirlwind of stock market news as the world stage is now on edge. We'll tell you why and what experts are saying. Let's take a live look outside in Pasco. We're right under that 100-degree mark. Stacy has your new work week weather forecast. We're on your side, and we're back right after this.
As a Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress against Dan Newhouse, I knew I'd be attacked from multiple fronts. But some of the lies my opponents have been spreading are downright ridiculous. So let's settle the beef. I'm a cattle-raising, gun-carrying, brisket-loving conservative, and I believe in the American dream. I believe in lower taxes and that our farms and ranches make us prosperous and more secure. Eastern Washington deserves a representative that is honest and transparent. So vote for the conservative we deserve. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
I learned the value of hard work right here in these fields as my immigrant parents pick crops. I graduated from Yakima Valley College and Gonzaga, worked for Congress and the state legislature. Now I'm running for state senate because we need someone who will fight for Central Washington. We're losing good paying jobs and warehouses are closing. I'm Maria Beltran, and I ask for your vote because our best days are ahead of us.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Adelante. At last, we can finally have someone who understands us in the state senate. Maria Beltran understands us because Maria is from Yakima. The daughter of immigrant parents, she's lived the challenges in our community. She'll fight for us hardworking people, so there's more work with better pay. Maria Beltran. So finally the state senate will have a fighter for Yakima and for us. Maria Beltran. Adelante.
As a mother and community leader, I know what it means to work hard and make tough decisions. Como miembro de nuestra comunidad, I've seen firsthand the challenges we face. We need affordable groceries, quality healthcare, and safety in our neighborhoods. I am committed to listening and working for everyone in our community. Juntos podemos crear un futuro mejor para el 14th District. I am Ana Ruiz Kennedy. Echémosle ganas. I'll be honored to earn your vote.
Visit Fred's Appliance today and explore unbeatable deals on the largest selection of in-stock Get It Today inventory in the region. Upgrade your kitchen with the spacious LG refrigerator for just $18.99 after a $100 mail-in rebate. With its innovative cooling technology and generous storage capacity, keep your food fresher for longer while enjoying the modern design that complements any kitchen decor. The Smart Thin Q technology allows you to control your refrigerator from your smartphone. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Newscasts anytime with Apple Valley Plus on Roku, Apple Fire, and smart TVs.
Welcome back, everybody. Our fire coverage continues tonight with an update on the Retreat Fire southeast of Natchez. It has burned more than 41,000 acres of land, and the cost is now adding up. Fire officials say they are almost halfway to containing the fire, and without strong winds to fan the flames, they continue to make progress reinforcing the lines around the fire. But according to the National Interagency Coordination Center, the cost of the Retreat Fire has already surpassed $9 million, with over 500 personnel and specialized equipment on scene.
We've had limited air resources, so that's kept some of that down, some of those costs. But I think every team is conscious of the cost and tries to make good decisions so that you're keeping those costs down.
Highway 12 remains closed between White Pass and the Y Junction, with State Route 410 and evacuation notices remaining in place for residents in that area. Well, Mikey's Chance Canine Rescue is now asking for donations. Why? Well, they have a new parvo litter. According to the shelter, the pups were dumped in a crate at the back door of Mid-Columbia Pet Emergency Services over the weekend in the smoky heat. Although the owner did eventually call the clinic to let the employees know they were outside, the seventh sibling did not survive. With one sibling still hospitalized, the total for their care was an unexpected $4,242. So visit the shelter online if you'd like to help by a donation. In other consumer-related news tonight, summer movie flops led to a deep drop in revenue from AMC theaters. The theater chain's revenue fell almost 24% during the 3-month period ending in June. It went from $1.35 billion this time last year to just a little over $1 billion this year. Poor performance of films like a Mad Max saga and The Fall Guy is one of the reasons for the deep drop in revenue. Last year's Hollywood strike also played a role. Moviegoers also didn't flock to AMC theaters this summer as much as they did last year. Attendance dropped to over 50 million, down from a little over 66 million the year before. But there is hope ahead for the giant movie chain. Sequels to Gladiator and Joker, as well as Wicked, are projected to bring in huge numbers. Google is yanking a controversial Olympics ad focusing on artificial intelligence after backlash it received online. The ad is called Dear Sydney, and it shows a father helping his daughter write a fan letter to her idol. That's U.S. Olympic track star Sydney McLaughlin. However, the father turned to Google's Gemini AI chatbot for assistance in writing the letter, rather than tapping into the child's own creativity. Google initially defended the ad, saying the tool could provide what it called a kind of a starting point for a piece of writings. Now, on Friday, the company reversed course and said it will no longer air during the Olympics and had cited the negative feedback as the reason. Turning to news around the world, eyes are on the stock market as fears over a U.S. economic slowdown are sending shockwaves throughout the global markets. Correspondent Lee Waldman is in New York City to explain what this tells us about the U.S. economy and what it could mean for you.
Fear surrounding Wall Street is at a 4-year high, according to CBOE's Volatility Index. Data shows that investors are spooked over data indicating that the U.S. economy could be facing a slowdown. Panic at the stock exchange Monday. With markets around the world dipping sharply overnight, the Dow opened down more than 1,000 points, setting off alarm bells.
Uncertainty is our worst enemy, and panic is the ultimate uncertainty out there.
Investors appear anxious over the U.S. Federal Reserve's decision not to trim interest rates last week as it waits for inflation to fall further. But following Friday's disappointing July jobs report showing the U.S. unemployment rate ticking up to its highest level since October 2021, Fed Chair Jerome Powell's patience could be backfiring.
My guess is they're feeling a bit remorse that they didn't pull the trigger on that rate cut in July. That doesn't mean we necessarily will go into recession, but I think the financial markets do have it right.
Some traders are betting the U.S. central bank will be forced into a rare emergency rate cut, though some analysts say while this is possible, it may not be likely.
In all likelihood, the Fed wants to stick to its predetermined calendar.
The Fed still has a lot to consider before it slashes rates, according to many experts, and it's still too soon to tell if the economy is simply cooling as planned or headed for a deep freeze.
We've had some disappointing economic data that is worrisome. That's far from a calamity. It's far from giving us proof that the economy is in contraction mode, broadly speaking.
Let's talk silver lining here. Rate cuts are coming in September. The analysts we spoke to said a lot of what we saw was the economy coming back into balance. The red-hot jobs market was not sustainable, and the unemployment rate was in line with historic norms. In New York, I'm Lee Waldman reporting.
Thank you for that story, and do stay with us on air and online for updates the entire week.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Stacy Lee.
Well, let's break our weather down in a nutshell. It's going to be warm and hazy tonight. We have some stray thunderstorms, most of those very far to the east, mainly towards Idaho tonight. However, we could see a pop-up thunder shower in the Blues. Fire danger remains high due to the lightning strikes, and our temperatures are getting closer to normal as we head through the night. Let's talk about that smoke. It is very hazy tonight by my Skycam in Yakima, 97 degrees. Winds are at 8 miles per hour. The feels like temp is 95. And yeah, that smoke has been an issue. It's been all through the area through the weekend with bouts of, improving air quality back up and down. But again, mainly because of the retreat fire. All of us are sitting in moderate air quality, meaning we're seeing visible smoke, but it's not dangerous or hazardous at this time. Futurecast smoke. Good news is we're going to start seeing a northwesterly flow of winds. That should help push most of the smoke out of the area. Overnight, though, you'll continue to see those hazy conditions all the way through the region. Here's the setup for tomorrow. We have an upper level system track moving right across the Pacific Northwest. So instead of that southerly flow we've been getting, we're going to start getting flow off the Pacific coast. So that's going to change a few things weather-wise. It's going to keep our temperatures a little bit cooler. You're going to see that wind starting to move in from the north and the west onto the region. And most of that heat dome is going to stay to the south of us, where it has been planted and parked for several days. Now, we do have a red flag warning tonight. Again, Dayton and to the east out towards Idaho, south of Milton, Freewater, and Pendleton. Fire threat very, very high tonight with possible thunder and lightning strikes in that region. We heard that big bout of thunder this morning. It woke me up out of a dead sleep around 4 o'clock in the morning. So pretty good stuff there. It did bring a little rain, not enough to make a big difference. Temperatures, as I said, at least in the Columbia Basin, Tri-City is going to be sitting right around our average all the way into next week. So pretty comfortable, normal summertime temperatures for this time of year. Clear with patchy haze tonight. Our temps all through the area in the 60s, a few 50s in there, 59 Toppenish, but everybody else in the 60s. Tomorrow, sunny and warm once again with temperatures in the 80s and 90s in the Yakima and Kittitas Valley. Moving into the Columbia Basin, a little bit warmer, just under the triple-digit mark, similar to today in the Columbia Basin and foothills of the Blues, just slightly cooler in the low to middle 90s there. Let's take a look at that 7-day planning forecast. Here's the smoke and haze, and we are going to see these little numbers pop up. There's a very slight chance of a stray shower or thunder shower coming through. Otherwise, seasonal temperatures with a slight chance of those showers middle of to the end of next week. We stay dangerously dry. Don't forget, got to get those ballots in the box by tomorrow. It is election day for those primaries. The temperature staying in the 90s. Walla Walla also 90s. Seasonal temperatures here just below the 100-degree mark, so pretty much normal for summer. And in Hermiston, again, dangerously dry with a very slight chance of a stray thunder shower. And we're going to see some breezier to gustier winds in the Hermiston area and across the Columbia River Gorge. So overall, our takeaway, Austin, is it's hot, it's dry. Fire season is definitely continuing, but temperatures are going to even out to about where they should be for the summer.
See, I'm okay with that.
Right?
You know?
Normal.
Normal.
Not high, not under, just right.
And I got the loud thunder this morning.
Right.
Totally. I was
My husband goes, "What is that?"
Yeah.
I said, "It is thunder."
It is thunder. It wasn't an explosion.
No.
My goodness. All right, thanks so much. Hey, coming up next on your news at 5, blood donations are down across the country. Next, we'll tell you how you can easily help out.
A good time for all on Deer Lake. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Should we take a look at? What do you think? So here. From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $500 off your tub or shower remodel.
Tiffany Smiley is not who she says she is.
Tiffany Smiley started a PAC claiming to raise money to support conservative candidates, but contributions were funneled to pay off her own $1 million campaign debt.
Of the almost $800,000 she raised, only $24,800 went to candidates. Instead, Tiffany used the money on luxury travel and to try to pay off her massive debt.
Tiffany Smiley deceived her donors. Don't let her deceive you.
I'm Dan Newhouse, and I approve this message.
There are a few things you should know before returning your ballot. Mary Beckler is a liberal Democrat who endorsed Kamala. Jared Sessler is a tax-hiking vegan. And Amnesty Dan Newhouse failed on the border. Tiffany Smiley is endorsed by law enforcement and grassroots leaders. Tiffany worked with President Trump on behalf of our veterans, and she'll do it again to close the border and make our communities safe again.
I'm Tiffany Smiley, and I approve this message.
As a Trump-endorsed candidate for Congress against Dan Newhouse, I knew I'd be attacked from multiple fronts. But some of the lies my opponents have been spreading are downright ridiculous. So let's settle the beef. I'm a cattle-raising, gun-carrying, brisket-loving conservative, and I believe in the American dream. I believe in lower taxes and that our farms and ranches make us prosperous and more secure. Eastern Washington deserves a representative that is honest and transparent. So vote for the conservative we deserve. I'm Jared Sessler, and I approve this message.
I have worked with Senator Curtis King for the past 2 years, and I know how much he cares about the constituents in his district. He is well respected by both parties. He is results-oriented, and he works very hard for the district.
We got to elect Curtis King. He has a proven record. We're very lucky to have him as a representative in the Senate.
There is no better candidate for the job than Senator Curtis King.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
So what do you think about these?
We're going to take everything.
From design and products to removal and installation, Rebath is with you through every step of your remodel. Call us us or visit rebath.com and save $1,000 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Thanks for staying with us. Well, new tonight, the American Red Cross says they have an emergency blood shortage right now.
That's right. Since the 1st of July, the Red Cross national blood supply has lost 25%. They need all types of donors, but especially those with O-type blood.
Yeah, Red Cross says that the heat has impacted over 100 blood drives, which just adds to the typical seasonal obstacles like people traveling in the summer.
All these factors have caused a shortage of over 19,000 blood donations, while hospital demand for blood products stays strong.
All right, see what you can do.
Get out there and donate some blood.
You've got final weather next.
That's right, and your viewer photo of the day.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter. Call 853-2222.
I learned the value of hard work right here in these fields as my immigrant parents pick crops. I graduated from Yakima Valley College and Gonzaga, worked for Congress and the state legislature. Now I'm running for state senate because we need someone who will fight for Central Washington. We're losing good paying jobs and warehouses are closing. I'm Maria Beltran, and I ask for your vote because our best days are ahead of us.
Paid for by friends Maria Beltran.
Do you like this one? I think this is my favorite. Okay, hon, what do you think of this one?
When it's time for an update or complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
Wow, is this going to be ready in time for the baby?
Absolutely.
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs. Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $500 off your tub or shower update.
Well, it's almost election time. Typical politicians trying to tell us they're conservative.
Yeah, well, that's not Congressman Newhouse. He worked with the liberals to try to remove Trump. And don't get me started on that Sessler.
He's not just a vegan.
Sessler wants a 30% tax on everything we buy.
Even my haircut.
Even my beer. He wants 30% if I want to buy new land.
So the choice is a never Trumper or a vegan.
Tiffany Smiley.
Oh, Smiley's the one.
I really like her.
MWSA Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I have worked with Senator Curtis King for the past 2 years, and I know how much he cares about the constituents in his district. He is well respected by both parties. He is results-oriented, and he works very hard for the district.
We got to elect Curtis King. He has a proven record. We're very lucky to have him as a representative in the Senate.
There is no better candidate for the job than Senator Curtis King.
I'm Senator Curtis King, and I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Poor maintenance, old tires, bad brakes, that could be why the big truck hit you. Hit by a big truck? I know how to beat their insurance companies. I'm attorney Mariano Morales, the big truck heavy hitter. Call 853-2222.
Looking for a weekend family getaway?
A lot of people come out to go fishing, wakeboarding, water skiing, jet skiing. You can do pretty much all your water sports.
Well, you'll want to see Deer Lake on Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
STCU and Apple Valley News Now honor local volunteers by sharing their stories and donating $1,000 to their favorite charities. To nominate someone who's making a difference in Benton and Franklin counties, just click on Volunteers Count at applevalleyNewsNow.com.
Time for happy news.
That's right. Let's take a look at our viewer photo of the day. We're going to analyze this. Look at that. Now, a lot of people, especially our news director, love that. Is called a dust devil. So even though it looks like a mini tornado, it's coming up from the ground and it's dust. And that was a pretty good one, guys. Linda and her grandson Jed stopped by and grabbed a picture of that now out near Othello. And those happen especially this time of year with all the dirt and dust kind of loose and the wind picks up. And anyway, thank you for sharing, Linda. And remember, if you'd like to have your weather photo, it's the QR code on the right side of your screen. Did you have a question?
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna say now it makes sense about the Dust Devils. The Tri-City Dust Devils, yeah.
It all comes into full picture. Yes. All right, let's take a look at tomorrow. Warm morning to start with. Get those activities done early. You're going to be close to 90 by the midday. Smoke and haze is a concern once again in the Yakima Valley. A very slight chance of showers, but temperatures right there in the 90s. We're getting pretty much back close to normal. Just slight slightly above average in the Tri-Cities. Don't forget to get those ballots in the ballot box by tomorrow. I had to go by today. It's a little too late to mail it, so you got to go drop them off in person. Here's what it looks like in Walla Walla and Hermiston. Very dry, very slight chance of a stray thunderstorm, but temperatures, things are kind of mellowing out and looking like a normal summer week for a change.
Thank goodness.
Yeah,
it's
about time.
Thanks, Stacey. Thanks for joining us here at 5. We're back at 6 with more local news and weather. Hoping your news is good news.
Have a good night.